Hello, this is WBA Executive Director Brad Boyks, and welcome to the latest edition of the Blueprint. Wanted to get you up to speed on a few things that were discussed during the advocacy group meeting last week, Friday. The advocacy group approved a provision to form a subcommittee to review current state statutes and rules as they relate to contractor certification. The original law was, which is 2005 Wisconsin Act 200, was signed into law by then Governor Jim Doyle on March 27th, 2006. So it's been almost 14 years since our organization has taken a deep dive into those state statutes and the administrative rules that make up our current contractor certification law. So the committee voted for a subcommittee to be formed, headed by WBA Treasurer Corey Sillers, and to report back to the advocacy group with any findings that they may have during our next meeting on June 24th. So we already have a number of folks signed up, but we are asking for anybody interested in serving that subcommittee to either contact Corey or me. And we want people who have diverse opinions. So if you think the current law is just right, if you think we need to do a little bit more or a little bit less, we want all voices to be heard on that subcommittee. So just take a moment and let myself or Corey know if you'd like to serve on that. We hope to be able to conduct the majority of our business using Zoom meetings and not requiring extra travel. So just let us know if you're interested in taking a deep dive on that topic. The advocacy group also discussed and was supportive of an effort to have an online auction with items donated by members to help fund the Building a Better Wisconsin Political Action Committee. So if you are interested in making a donation, more details to follow on when we're actually going to have that online auction, but we were already received one commitment, thank you Ron Derrick, for Minnesota Wild NHL tickets that will be donated. We want a wide, diverse number of items for the silent auction. So just like many local associations have silent auctions, we're going to do a statewide silent auction online. Items ranging from Visa prepaid gift card, Packer tickets, gift certificates, suppliers that want to donate items that go into building a home. Electronic items are also very popular. If you have some ideas and want to make a donation, please just let me know. We'll get you on the list and then obviously let everybody know when we're going to move forward with that silent auction. So looking forward to that as another option in an election year to raise some additional dollars for the PAC. Any donation that comes in, any contribution that's made through that, local associations will also get credit for their 2020 political fundraising goal. A quick update too, the Plumbing Code Council met recently at the Department of Safety and Professional Services. Staff informed the council that the time that they had to submit any changes for the plumbing code had actually timed out. It's called a scope statement. You have a certain number of months that you can submit that finished plan to the legislature, and that time frame had run out. So the committee or the council will be looking at those changes in 2020 once they receive a new scope statement that is approved by Governor Evers, and then they will make recommended changes to the legislature. I believe their goal is to do that in sometime in 2021. So if you have any changes on the plumbing code that you'd like to consider, please just let me know and we'll make sure that that gets over to the Plumbing Code Council at DSPS. A lot of attention has been placed at the time it is taking for reviews of commercial building plans at the Department of Safety and Professional Services. Two senators, Senators Roger Roth and Dewey Strobel, likely to introduce a bill draft this week, which will streamline that process and hopefully make it easier to get approvals, or in some cases, not to actually have plans approved at the Department of Safety and Professional Services. So the current bill draft that is being considered would exempt single-story commercial buildings that are not healthcare facilities, schools, factories, or places where people assemble that are less than 200,000 cubic feet, so long as they are stamped by a licensed engineer, architect, or designer. The bill draft would also exempt plumbing plans for review at DSPS that are fewer than 26 plumbing fixtures for commercial plan review, so long as those are supervised by a licensed master plumber. Currently, plumbing plan reviews with 15 or fewer fixtures are not reviewed by DSPS. So please let me know if you have any thoughts on that bill draft. Seems like it would be a logical way to try to streamline that process and again, have less plans reviewed over at the Department of Safety and Professional Services. Just a heads up on the coming primary on Tuesday, February 18th. A number of local races will have a primary election, but the big one here on the state level is the race for Wisconsin's Supreme Court. We have 3 candidates vying for 2 positions to move on to the spring general election, which will take place on Tuesday, April 7th. Current Justice Dan Kelly, who was appointed by former Governor Scott Walker, is running for his first full 10-year term on the state's highest court. Kelly has 2 challengers. First, Dane County Circuit Court Judge Jill Karofsky, who was first hired in the Attorney General's office by former Attorney General Jim Doyle. And then also Marquette Law School Professor Ed Falone, also in the mix on Tuesday as well. And he is touting his law school background and background as a law school professor as an alternative to the other candidates running in this race and those current members of the Supreme Court. So there are links to all 3 of those candidates' websites in the email if you want to do some reading up before the election next Tuesday. Finally, been talking about it for a number of weeks. We have the inaugural Trends in Housing Conference coming up on Thursday, March 5th. You can sign up for that event at wisbuild.org. A thank you to our exclusive sponsor for that event, the Federal Home Loan Bank of Chicago. We have a 9 o'clock check-in. 10 o'clock, we will be joined by Kurt Paulson, the UW Department of Planning and Landscape Architecture, to present a workforce housing study. At 11 o'clock, we have Joe Nagin, a familiar face to many of you. We'll be doing a course on trends in energy efficiency and smart home technology. That will also get any builder the ability to get 1.5 credits for his presentation. We have lunch. Then after lunch, we will be joined by Dennis Winters from the Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development, doing a presentation on Wisconsin workforce and economic outlook. And then finally, we have Rob Dietz, Chief Economist from NAHB, to do a housing outlook forecast. So we're honored to have Rob Dietz join us from Washington, D.C. And then we will conclude with a reception before folks head home. Again, the event on Thursday, March 5th at the Ingleside Hotel in Pewaukee. Cost to attend is $75 for members and $85 for non-members. So again, as always, thank you for your membership. Thank you for tuning in. We will be back in a couple of weeks with an update, and hope all is well. Have a great rest of the week.